You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly pop and geek culture show covering movies, TV, games, and comics. Now your hosts, Cody Pinnick, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that wants to know if you remember that one show from Fox Kids from like the mid-90s and there was like a pirate? Do you remember that one?
Pirates of Dark Water?
No, it was by the guy that did Eek the Cat.
No, I don't remember this one.
I can't remember what it was called either, but I swear it existed. I'm Cody.
I'm Sam.
I'm confused.
It probably only lasted a season.
Thank you all for tuning in this week. We have a bunch of news to go over, but first let's talk about some things we've been checking out.
Check it out!
All right, and while everyone feverishly gets on their phones to look up what this pirate show was, I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple things I've done. I watched a really good documentary on Amazon Prime about the Kids in the Hall, the sketch comedy group from Canada. Have you guys seen or heard anything about this?
We've actually watched the first couple episodes of the new season, and it's very good.
Yeah. I would highly recommend checking out the documentary as well. It goes everywhere from the beginning with them, playing in clubs, little clubs, in the kind of the punk rock scene in Vancouver, all the way to their show, what happened after their show, how much they all hated Dave Foley by the end of it, and all the way through to now. It's really comprehensive. It's about an hour long. The Kids in the Hall is a show that I knew of, but didn't really watch a whole lot of it.
Yeah, I caught a few reruns here and there when I was younger on Comedy Central's about all I knew of it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. You can, after watching this documentary, you can draw like a direct line between Monty Python to Kids in the Hall to Whitest Kids You Know. It's like the same style of sketch comedy and improv and stuff like that. Really, really fascinating. They even went into the movie that they did, because they did do a movie after the series and it was terrible and it tanked horribly.
That's the first joke they make of the new series.
That's what I hear. That. Yeah. It finally, Brain Candy finally made its money back, right?
Yeah.
Thought it would take 6 weeks, ended up taking 30 years. But no, really fascinating stuff. All of the cast, they all are pretty interesting to listen to. And yeah, they all kind of hated Dave Foley. They were all pretty ticked off at him because he left. They ended Kids in the Hall, the show, after 5 seasons. And he's like, well, I got to continue to work. So he got a job. He became the lead of talk radio or news radio, the show, the sitcom that was set on a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And so he left for America and didn't want to come back to do the movie. So then he was sued to come back and be in the movie, because
that creates a great environment for everyone to make comedy.
Everybody was miserable during the movie. One of the other guys, Scott Thompson, his brother committed suicide right before filming. So he was pretty depressed. He said, well, it gave me something to keep my mind off of things, I guess. But And the movie itself, Brain Candy, is about depression and depression meds.
Oof.
Yeah, which, I mean, if you're going to make fun of something, making fun of the pharmaceutical companies and depression and stuff is a pretty subversive things to make fun of, which, was really kind of their bag. But apparently Dave Foley, he wrote a little bit on the script, but not enough to get a writing credit. But he had to sign off on it. His lawyer said, listen, this movie's not going to get made. The studio hates it, but if you don't sign off on it, no one's going to get paid for it. So just sign your name. It's never going to get made. Don't worry about it. And then Lorne Michaels stepped in from SNL and made it happen. And now he has on a contract saying that he has to be there. And he's like, no, I don't want to do this. I hate these guys. So then they sued him to get him back into the movie. And they reduced his role to like 3 or 4 bit parts, while the rest of the cast played 95% of the rest of the parts in the film.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's a really interesting documentary. I would definitely recommend checking it out. Really good stuff.
It was Mad Jack the Pirate.
I'm looking at his filmography, and I don't see that.
It's not. I guess it's not by the Eek the Cat guy.
That's weird. I do not
because there's a pirate episode of Eek the Cat. It's called Eek the Cat and the Pirates of Tortuga or something like that. Was the name of the episode.
Yeah, no, I do not recall a pirate show.
Apparently, he
Fox
worked
Kids at all.
on the Fairly Odd Parents movie, Grow Up Timmy Turner.
Oh, the Eek the Cat guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's continued.
Savage Steve Holland.
Yeah, he's continued to be in animation for like a while. But yeah, Eek the Cat was really kind of his one big.
Yeah, he created
thing.
Eek the Cat and the Terrible Thunder Lizards.
That was the other half of the show.
It was a dude that was on Eek the Cat. It was a Bill Kopp.
Oh, that guy sounds familiar. Okay, well, right on.
And apparently Savage started his own studio and directs shows for Disney Channel and Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, so check it out. I've checked out a few things. I watched the Bob's Burgers movie.
Oh, I want to watch
cool.
it. I want to watch it so bad.
Because it's on Hulu now.
And HBO Max, both, which is weird.
Now
weird.
watch what you're saying because friend of the show BJ from
I
Teach
won't
a Dummy
spoil it.
is a huge Bob's Burgers fan. So.
I mean, I like Bob's Burgers too, and the movie was good.
Oh, good.
I think I've seen every episode of Bob's Burgers. Without even really trying hard. It's just always there, and why watch it when it shows up?
Right? It's more musical than a lot of their stuff.
It's a pretty musical show, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not surprising that it is a musical.
I mean, there's a bunch of little song and dance numbers in the movie. Also, they really blew the budget on like animation quality because there's a lot of like really flowy movements.
I've seen some clips, and I was about blown away. Like the Belchers shouldn't look that good.
Like there's this like a whole like dance routine, and like everybody is like just it's really smooth. I'm like, oh man,
just noodling out with those arms.
oh yeah, like seriously, like they like are like, you know what, we got this money, we're gonna spend it. Like
now, does it feel like an actual film or does it feel like an extended episode in tone?
Kind of feels like more like a big long episode. Really.
Okay, you know what? That's probably the best way to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how I felt about the Cowboy Bebop movie. It was basically a long,
and that's
Cowboy
what
Bebop.
they got wrong with the Simpsons movie.
right?
Yeah, they tried to make it too cinematic. They should have just done a big long episode.
Yeah.
Oh, the Simpsons
I hate
movie.
it when they try to, when like a TV show gets a movie and they try to raise the stakes too high. It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, now Bart
No.
and Homer have to save the world.
Nope. Yeah, roll it back. Just make it a regular episode that's just
It's like,
extra long.
Now the Rugrats are in a Reptar robot and they're going to destroy all of
France.
Paris or something.
Yeah.
Now Tommy Pickles is going to kill his brother in the woods with a rock,
No.
which was part of that movie.
That was. Yeah.
Oh man, he was gonna cane him.
Yeah.
To his Abel.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
That movie was wild
It was.
and not good.
So was the Thornberrys.
Also Wild Thornberries.
just in name alone was wild.
Anyway, but I like Bob's Burgers. It was good. There were some twists that I saw coming from like a mile away because it was like, I've never seen this character before. That must be the MacGuffin.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy Pesto does not say a single word through the whole movie.
Good. I'll bet they cut him out. I'll bet he did originally and they cut him out.
I mean, he pops up. You see him doing some stuff in the background, but he's not.
Okay, what problematic actor is the voice of Jimmy Pesto then?
You haven't you don't know this one?
No.
I forget the guy's name, but they caught him at the January 6th insurrection. So
well then
yeah,
no, that's okay.
Yeah, Jimmy Pesto's an insurrectionist. So.
Okay, all right. Here, I thought you were going to say something about how they found a USB at a medieval times or something.
No. I didn't have to say alleged on that one. There's
You didn't have
pictures.
to. No, you don't have to say alleged. He was there. Okay, all right.
Jay Johnson is his
Yep.
name.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nope. Sounds familiar. Okay.
Yep.
Less said the better.
Yep. He never says a word. But a lot of the side Bob's characters really don't show up.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
Like Sergeant Bosco is there.
Is Mickey there?
Yeah, Mickey's
Okay.
Mickey's actually a decent part.
He's one of the better ones, I think.
Mickey's there. Teddy.
Teddy's gotta be. Teddy's not even a side character.
I know,
He's
I
a
know.
main character. He's part of that dang family, whether they want him or not.
Mort only shows up for 3 seconds.
I feel like they don't know how to use Mort because they never do.
No. It focuses more on the Belcher kids themselves, Bob, and the fish odors.
There's a lot you can do with the fish odors because they're so weird.
Yeah. They definitely have some Bond villain energy.
Yeah.
But they're also idiots.
That it's such a comfort show. I think.
Oh yeah,
I
love Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
Let's see other stuff I've checked out.
I've really come around on the Great North a lot too.
Really?
In the same way. I just kind of like that family.
Those weirdo Canadians.
Yeah. They're Alaskans.
Alaskans. Okay.
It's
sorry.
I
watched one episode of it.
I want to spend some time with the Tobins.
I just assumed they were Canadian because Alanis Morissette is a spirit animal, right?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick Offerman.
He's so good on that show too.
He's good in everything.
He has major Hank Hill kind of energy.
Yeah.
He's that kind of
I
character.
can see that. Yep, I can see that.
Okay.
Where you get to know his personality so well that it's just funny to see him react to things.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Let's see here. I've been watching the new season of Tuca Bertie because it's been popping up on HBO Max. I mean, it's on Adult Swim, but now Adult Swim is kind of doing the Hulu thing where it'll play Sunday night or whatever, and then on Monday it's available on HBO Max.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, which is fine by me. So when new episodes of Rick and Morty come out, I don't have to worry about it.
Or you could just ignore them
that's
because
true.
it's Rick and Morty.
That's true, but I don't know.
There's always at least 3 good episodes every season, and then the rest are forgettable trash.
Yeah. It's kind of. I don't know. It's kind of like a drug for me. It's I watch it and I'm why am I watching this?
Why did I do this?
Some of these jokes aren't funny, but then I'm okay,
Immediate regret.
Yeah, buyer's remorse maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've been watching regular show. A lot.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm real deep in it now. I don't even know where the movie falls within the series.
I have never watched the movie.
Oh yeah?
Is it good?
I've only seen bits and pieces of it. Never actually seen the whole thing. But from what I've seen of the movie, it kind of does the thing where it's basically a long episode.
Regular
Skips
Show
is my favorite.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Regular Show is an animated show from Cartoon Network about a blue jay and a raccoon who work in a park.
Yes.
Yes, and their boss is a gumball machine.
Yes.
Gumball machine skips the Yeti.
It's
Immortal Yeti.
He's an immortal Yeti who skips around.
It's like a 90s slacker comedy, but surreal.
Surreal and toned down just enough to be okay for primetime Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
but just barely.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is so close to an Adult Swim show.
It really is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jokes in there that are almost too...
An extra 5% and it would have been at the 11 o'clock
It would have been
hour.
It would have been close enough with animal people.
Yeah.
It would have guided everyone safely into the arms of King of the Hill on Adult
Yes,
Swim.
that's right. Yep.
One thing they've been doing a lot lately on the show that it's been kind of funny for me is they go to this wing place all the time a lot, and when they eat wings, they act like they're drinking.
Yeah.
Benson starts slurring and stuff. It's how many wings did I eat? What happened last night? Kind of thing.
Absolutely.
They frequently drink soda out of paper bags in the park. Also.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to pound some sodas? Oh!
It sucks. The guy that did Regular Show, J.G. Quintel, his new show, which is very good, called Close Enough.
Right. We've talked about Close Enough.
Yeah,
a few
it's only getting one more season. And
Oh,
then
really?
It's done.
Ah, bummer.
Yeah, I do like Close Enough a lot. Close Enough, in Regular Show, they're very similar. They start off with really kind of realistic elements, realistic problems, and then by I don't know, almost the third act of the episode, something weird bananas happens.
It's mundane to fantastical by the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like instantly, some Lovecraftian horror comes out of a portal or a hole, and they're well, That's what we get for trying to get the hot dogs out of the freezer.
Well, they send all those baby ducks to the moon, only for them to come back in a giant robot seasons later.
We gave our daughter breakfast for dinner, and it broke her mind, and helped her realize that rules are not dead set, and just blew her mind. I thought that was a hilarious.
Yeah,
that episode of Close Enough is so good.
Yeah, and then she ends up becoming like a post-apocalyptic warlord in her preschool.
Yeah. Or the episode where she like basically becomes like a drug dealer for hot sauce.
Yeah. But she keeps her money in a regular show lunchbox.
Nice.
Yeah, and then there's like an episode where Josh dresses up as Mordecai. J.G. Quint was the voice of Mordecai, and him, well, kind of himself in Close Enough. I don't know. I like regular show a lot.
It was always one of my favorites.
It's a really good one.
Like, it's
probably one of the best of that crop of Cartoon Network original.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Adventure Time too, but
Adventure Time got bogged down by its own continuity.
Yeah.
Then the fact that like
regular show almost does at one point.
Regular show almost does, but it walks the line. Steven Universe got, depending on my mood of the day, I will say whether it got bogged down by its continuity or was highlighted by it.
It was always in that. There's very few filler Steven Universe episodes,
and they're mostly in season 1.
Yeah. But also season 1 is so long.
It's like 65 episodes. It's like a classic animated.
Yeah, it's like its own
set.
Season 1 of Steven Universe is almost like its own thing, its own contained thing until the end of the season, where like they bring in the greater universe of the show, no pun intended,
and then it kind of goes from there.
Yeah, and it goes into more story building.
It's almost like the show starts at the end of season 1.
Yeah,
because
pretty much.
everything else is just building up the characters and setting the universe.
They had to earn the right to be a serialized show from their corporate masters at Cartoon Network.
Well, it's almost like they presented one style of show and quickly snuck it, like backdoor turned it into a different style of show.
I always felt like with regular show, if Cartoon Network had come to me and asked me to make them a show, it would have been very close to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, back when you were doing the comics about working in retail, it was very regular show-esque.
Even the style was kind of regular show-esque.
I always thought I was pulling a lot of Adventure Time.
I mean, they're
similar.
There are similarities.
It's almost like a house style for Cartoon Network.
It is, yeah. That Cal art style.
Gross.
That everybody seems to have strong opinions on.
Gross.
Everyone hates Steven Universe. Everyone hates Gumball. Everyone hates Star versus the Forces of Evil.
They all got those bean mouths with the 3 teeth, and it's like, they're all very different looking.
They're different.
Mabel and Gravity Falls.
Yeah, Gravity Falls.
Thundercats Roar.
I still haven't watched a single episode of that.
Remember how that was the worst thing that had ever happened?
Yeah, right.
And then I always forget that there's that episode of Steven Universe where Uncle Grandpa has an episode.
That's weird.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
There are some good like fourth wall jokes in that episode.
And Joel Hodgson is on Steven Universe.
Oh, yeah, Mayor Dewey.
Yeah, Mayor Dewey.
This has been Toon Talk.
Yeah, what have we been checking out? We've been mainlining the TBS to HBO Max series Search Party, which is
that about cannibals?
No.
Oh.
It stars Maybe from Arrested Development.
Oh, nice. Elia Shawkat.
Yeah.
I think is her name.
And her and like her hipster 20-something friends get like mixed up in a missing persons.
Oh yes,
story.
I remember this being announced briefly like a year ago or something, year or two.
Yeah, it's not a new show. Well, there's a new season just came out, the last season. But it's really darkly fun. It's a dark comedy, and it's very good.
Oh, good.
I think we've you've watched up to season 5 because it was
it's something I would put on while you weren't there, just to make noise.
But it's actually a very solidly funny show.
Oh, cool.
With the first season has like a fun mystery element, and then the second season kind of rolls into this like Hitchcockian, like guilt-ridden.
Each season is different.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Interesting.
But yeah, it's worth watching. On HBO Max, it's uncut, so so watch out, I guess.
Like,
I'd say it's not that bad.
I was gonna say, like, are we talking like gore? Are we talking like, nudity?
Like some situational nudity.
I gotcha.
Not really.
You don't ever really see anything. There's relations occur, but you don't see nudity.
Gotcha.
And there's swears. I guess. I don't know.
Relations occur.
Relations occur.
Sir, in The Sims, they call that woohooing.
Yes.
But the characters are really well written and well realized, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is this a live action show?
Yeah, the one character, Portia, really toes the line from being almost too much like Alexis Rose from the Doo-Doo Creek.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yep.
The
Doo-Doo Creek. We're on radio. I think we've said it before.
We have, but yeah.
That's Doo-Doo Creek sounds funnier.
I think I like that better. Yeah.
Eugene Levy and Doo-Doo Creek. It's always so weird. Like, for the longest time, like, I looked at like shots of that show, and my brain, for some reason, like, never went, "Hey, that's Eugene Levy." I don't know if it's because he like lost weight from like American Pie to this point.
That's Johnny Rose, former CEO of Rose Video. Oh, I played all the way through Bayonetta 2.
Oh yeah.
Because they put a date on Bayonetta 3 last week out of nowhere, and I'm like, I never finished Bayonetta 2, so I barreled through the whole thing in 2 days.
Yep. And it's good?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's Bayonetta. It's a little faster and a little smoother than the first one, I thought. Whoever's idea it was that Bayonetta should be followed around by an obnoxious child the entire game, maybe not great.
Well, get ready for more of that, because that's the main plot of Bayonetta 3.
It's her hey listen, it's her Navi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically, you follow around the kid the whole game. Well, there's almost always another character there with you telling you to hurry up and move to the next destination. And I'm like, no, you've hidden treasures all over this place. I'm going to go find those. Hold your pants on. Don't tell me to hurry if there's things I need to find.
Right.
Or your pants made of hair.
Yeah.
I was going to say the hair pants. That is her whole deal.
But it's a great action game. Like, and they don't make them like that very often.
Yeah. Did you hear about the thing in Bayonetta 3? They're adding a toggleable safe for public consumption mode.
Yeah, the naive angel mode.
Naive angel mode, yeah.
So she doesn't lose so much of her clothing, so you can play it in your family room without getting embarrassed.
Yep.
It's like fair enough.
It's fair enough. It like turns what she would do normally in a game to what she does in Smash. She kind of gets hot pants a little bit, and that's it.
I've never found like the game that like
no.
It's so over the top and so campy, and
camp is that's the operative word.
That it's not. I don't find it like embarrassing.
It's not hypersexualized because it's campy.
Yeah.
It's not like you're paying like it's not like you're playing like BMX XXX on your PlayStation 2 in the family room.
It's almost like drag-esque.
It is.
Even though Bayonetta is a woman. Like
she is very drag-esque.
Yeah. It feels like a drag routine almost.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I played the majority of the game in the Star Fox costume.
Nice. Even better.
Because that's the one I could unlock. They're very expensive unless you have amiibos.
Hey. Bring your Switch. Well, I got the hookups, my friend.
There is one level where you normally would be flying a jet. Mm-hmm. If you're in the Star Fox costume, it's just a straight up R-wing.
Oh,
and
really?
It controls and shoots like the R-wing in Star Fox.
Fantastic. Oh, that's great.
Very cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, bring your Switch over. You can get Samus and Princess Peach and Link.
I did get Link.
Okay.
And Daisy. I did get Samus also.
Okay.
And when you do the dash move, she rolls up in the morph ball.
Oh, nice.
And it drops bombs when you jump.
See, that's the way to do it. If you're gonna have like specific costumes locked behind
Easter egg stuff,
give them like special movements or special abilities based on those costumes.
The whole game kind of just does this thing, just like plays with game design in that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a part where you ride on a horse, and on the screen where it shows you the controls, it says like horse attack or something in the Excite Bike font with the checkered border.
Oh, weird. Oh, that's awesome.
And there's all kinds of like little nods like that to other games. Like it's a game made by fans of games.
Yeah.
Fans of like other Nintendo properties.
Not even just there's Sega stuff too. That the scene before the jet has like Afterburners font on the help screen.
Yeah, it's just all over the place kind of stuff. And I hear Bayonetta 3 is going to have a lot more of that as well.
I'm excited for it. Like,
yeah.
It can't get here soon enough.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I do like Bayonetta when I played through 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I burnt through it in 2 days.
All right, well, hey, let's go ahead and take a break here. And when we come back, let's get into some news.
Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Dunham, the host of Long Play. Long Play might be, as far as anyone can tell, a hit from coast to coast. Apparently, Long Play may also be an international sensation. I've contacted WZMO's sister station in Paris to check the pulse of the City of Lights. Bonjour! Avec Long Play?
Tu vas te tuer, espèce d'idiot, c'est incroyable.
My French is a little rusty, but I think she said we're a hit.
Imbecile.
I invite you to tune into Long Play Fridays at 11 p.m. and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Juste ici on WZMO.
Hey, we're back from the break. Let's go ahead and get into some news. All right, so big news week. It snuck up on all of us. I think a few weeks ago we thought that this had already happened, but apparently it's San Diego ComicCon this week.
I specifically remember you saying, "Yeah, I think it already happened."
Well, it shows you how out of touch we are, and how weird. Well, because of the pandemic, because they didn't do it last year. They did a digital event.
I just took your word for it. I'm like, yeah, he would know.
I assumed they had. But apparently, no, it's going on this week, and there are a lot of announcements. I mean, a lot of this news is, hey, this thing exists.
Yeah, pretty much.
But let's talk about some stuff. What do we got?
I mean, that kind of happens with, like, Comic-Con. It's a lot of, this thing exists.
This thing exists, wait for it.
Yeah, sometimes you get a trailer if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. Speaking of trailers, there's a new trailer for Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
Yep. With a character who looks strangely enough like Eminem.
Yeah, he does look a little like Eminem. That is Sauron, right?
Or the guy who is Sauron or going to be Sauron. It's so weird.
More like Snoron. Oh, no, I actually like Lord of the Rings. So I can't really. There was a time in my life when I very much did not.
Yeah.
Was that when you had to read the book for school?
Yeah. No, actually, I never had to read it for school, but like in like the 7th or 8th grade, we did the accelerated reader.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you had to get like X amount of points.
Yeah.
I read about the first 3 chapters. Was like, this is boring, but it's worth so many points. I'm just going to wing it on the test and see what happens. Mm-hmm. Got enough accelerated reader points for the whole year.
Oh, geez. There was a book that I did that for as well. I remember... Oh, what was it? Was it the Earthsea?
Oh, Tales of Earthsea.
That would be a big pointer.
I think I did that with Tales of Earthsea. I read enough to like, I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
I get the gist.
Man, I do not like Earthsea.
Ursula Le Guin stuff is it's dry.
Ursula K. Le Guin's supposed to be one of the best like
young adult writers.
It's dry. It's kind of dry.
Authors in general.
Tolkien is so dry.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not a song or description of food.
Yeah, that's when I tried reading between that and Dune. I tried reading the first chapter or 2 of Lord of the Rings.
Of course Dune is dry.
Yeah.
Of course Dune is dry.
Yeah. But like Lord of the Rings, like you read an entire paragraph about a blade of grass. And it's like, all right, is something going to happen? No.
Man, I need to pick The Hobbit back up. It's been so long since I was reading it.
I like what I've seen of the movies recently, and by recently I mean like in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And it looks like a Lord of the Rings, but like I couldn't tell you what it was about by the trailers.
No, I couldn't tell you either.
There's just nothing to grab onto
I'm
in
guessing
any of
there
these
are
trailers.
rings, and they might have power. That's about it.
I mean, that's what happens when you get to like the prequel point and stuff, because a lot of people haven't read the Silmarillion, because the Silmarillion is a trash book.
It's a textbook.
It is, yes, it is literally a history book for Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Like all the extra stuff that's in the movies is pulled out of that book,
Right.
And the appendices and all that stuff, and it's like, I don't want to do homework to enjoy your world.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll watch it. It's got dwarves in it.
Oh yeah, I'm down to watch it. I'll give it a shot.
I will skip it. I have historically I prefer my fantasy sci-fi instead of high. So
I'm the same way. I like sci-fi better than fantasy, but I'll do a fantasy every once in a while.
I'll give it. You know what? I might give it a shot, but
I mean,
it's a pretty high hurdle for me to jump over.
Like I'm in a weird boat because I love both genres. I love high fantasy and I love sci-fi. So
sure,
there's not enough low fantasy. There's not enough barbarian desert Conan stuff.
Yeah, give me more Tales of Hyboria.
Yeah.
God, they haven't done a Conan in a while.
The last one they did was that trash fire that Jason Momoa was in.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Everyone forgot about that for good reason.
I mean, there was all that talk for the longest time of a King Conan movie with old Schwarzenegger.
I would watch it, but at this point, I think the ship has passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By all accounts, Jason Momoa should be a fantastic Conan. I don't
He
know how they
should
messed
have,
that one up.
and yet.
Maybe it wasn't his fault. Maybe it was just bad writing.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know,
And it was like way early in his
It was
career,
early
too.
Momoa where he couldn't like bring his own personality into it because
he couldn't bro it up.
90% of Momoa's acting is his own personality that he brings to the thing.
Yeah.
Aquaman would not be nearly as entertaining if they had cast anyone else.
He even lightened up Dune somehow.
He did, yeah. Yeah.
He brought a jovialness to Dune that you wouldn't expect.
He's one of the only aspects of Justice League that I like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're a guy that dresses like a bat. I dig it.
All right, so let's that almost sounded like Beetlejuice.
Hey, your guy dressed up like a bat. I dig it.
I'm the ghost of the most.
Do you got something in that belt that takes care of sandworms? Can we go to Florida?
Are we
so I
st-
can
are we talking
enjoy
about- are we still-
Beetlejuice in a tropical setting?
Are we still talking about Dune? Sandworms?
It's both. It's both. Yeah.
So speaking of high fantasy.
Beetle-Dune?
Beetle-Dune.
Beetle-Dune.
You gotta walk without rhythm? So you don't attract the sandworm?
Fear is the mind killer? Fear is the small death?
Small death?
Your Michael Keaton Beetlejuice is pretty good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's not as good as your Kermit or your George
Here
Lucas.
comes the Gom Jabbar.
Now can we get Kermit doing the Fear is the mind killer?
Oh, fear is the mind killer. Why are there so many songs about sandworms? And what's with the other spice? All right.
Actually, I want Muppets Dune now.
Muppets Dune would be great. Who would be the one human? Because the easy choice would be the main guy.
Yeah, Paul
Atreides.
I mean,
but
Kermit's got to be Duke Leto.
yeah.
Baron Harkonnen would be like one of those big Muppets, like those big.
It would be like,
a
Sweetums. It'd be like a Sweetums or something.
Or like an Angry Carl.
What if Gonzo was the sandworm?
Now, Gonzo would make a good like a Fremen
He'd
character.
be like a Freeman. Yeah.
It's been so long since
Oh man, Lady Jessica is Miss Piggy.
Heck
Can you imagine?
yeah. Heck yeah.
Bene Gesserit, Miss Piggy.
All right.
So speaking of high fantasy,
we gotta move on.
They
Here we
released
go.
a trailer for the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie.
You know, you were saying, and I agree with you, the more I watch it, the more I'm warming up to it.
Oh yeah,
Rolf is Duncan, Idaho.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fun. I worry that they're just making a Critical Role movie without Critical Role.
I feel like that's what a lot of people have been talking about. Is like this movie wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Critical Role,
and that's fair. That's
fair.
a fair statement.
It's whatever your opinions of Critical Role themselves, you can't deny that they have made D&D
interesting.
It's come out of like the pop culture like
basement,
and it's like one of the it wouldn't be as popular without them.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I completely agree.
And there was a lot of like, here's the thing from Dungeons and Dragons, so get excited. Like,
I mean, it was basically a monster manual on the screen.
It was.
Yeah,
because you had Displacer Beast, Gelatinous Cube, a Mimic, Owlbear. I saw a Copper Dragon. I'm pretty sure there's another type of dragon in there.
Well, all the main characters are definite classes.
Oh yeah, the Druid lady, Chris Pine's Bard guy. Is there a Paladin?
There is a paladin.
One of them's like a paladin.
There's like a lawful good paladin in this group of thieves. There's
Michelle Rodriguez is like some kind of barbarian.
She's a barbarian for sure. There's a druid. There's a what is Justice Smith? Is he like a?
He's like a wizard.
He's like a wizard.
Kind.
Oh yeah.
I still think this movie would have worked a little better if they would have used the animated series cast.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The acrobats.
the Cavalier.
The Cavalier, yeah.
The Ranger.
Mm-hmm. Fighting Tiamat.
And Venger.
Yes.
You know, I got all excited when that one car commercial came out.
I know. It was so good.
It was so good.
There was a couple of those like filler joke dialogue lines in the trailer that kind of make me nervous. Like somebody does a bunch of cool stuff, and I think somebody literally said like, "I'm glad she's on our side." And it's like,
right,
ooh.
But that's a big budget thing like this. You're gonna have some of that,
yeah,
because you got to make it at least a little bit accessible for folks that are not specifically into D&D.
I mean, the trailer automatically is better than the Dungeons and Dragons movie from like what 2000.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that hands down.
I hope in the film it pulls out at some point and there are actually people playing D&D, that it's an actual game.
Like I thought that's kind of what they were doing, because like
I kind of hoped,
because during the trailer there's like an over voice of talking about stuff, and it almost sounded like somebody was explaining like a campaign or something.
I hope they leave that as that would be a cool surprise.
That would be a really cool surprise.
That would be like a neat like right before the credits, or maybe a mid credit.
Yeah, something like that.
Because you know there's going to be some kind of credit BS, because we can't get away from it now anymore.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, you're setting up the next campaign like Castle of Strahd or something like that.
I hope they don't make too many jokes that are like the same jokes that everyone makes about Dungeons and Dragons all the time. Like, oh, the bard's going to do a relations with someone.
Yeah, the bard's going to seduce.
Yeah.
But that's Chris Pine, and he's probably going to. Or he's going to fail his role at
they're like
or something.
I don't think Chris Pine could fail a seduction role.
But it would be funny to watch him try.
I know that one little scene like in the trailer where
his passive alone will.
That scene in the trailer where he like you see him standing there playing his little lute, and he's got this dumb grin on his face. It was so stupid. It made me laugh, and it reminded me of this. I don't know, fan film. There's a series of fan films called The Gamers. The first one's real low budget, like super, like we're still in college making this in our dorm kind of movie.
Okay, yeah.
But there's a second one called The Gamers Dorkness Rising.
That sounds familiar.
And there's a bard character in there, and he does a stupid grin playing a lute, and then he keeps dying.
Oh, gotcha.
And then his player keeps having to make a new character, but he keeps making new bards.
Yeah.
That would be a good joke.
And they're
for
all
this
like,
movie.
that would be a good joke.
And they're all like,
have somebody die, and then like 2 minutes later, there's somebody like,
same actor playing a different character.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that would be great.
oh man, I hope so.
That would be pretty great.
I hope they get meta with it. That's what it needs.
That's what it
be
needs.
Meta.
Yeah, they either need to do something where it's a bunch of people playing D&D, or someone gets sucked into a D&D campaign. Those are the two, like Jumanji it. Those are the two ways to take it.
If you don't do that, then you've just got an absolutely generic fantasy.
Yeah, then what's the point of calling it Dungeons and Dragons?
That's true.
If they don't
And
put
also,
the
I think
stuff.
some people forget about the other Dungeons and Dragons movies that came out. Because there are a couple more.
Oh, no one can forget the one with Jeremy Irons just eating every last bit of scenery in it.
Well, now Hugh Grant's there to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like one called like Wrath of the Dragon God, and it is so bad.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons movies, like branded Dungeons and Dragons movies, are historically not good.
Oh yeah, other than the first one, they all went like straight to video.
Yeah.
I thought they were like Sci-Fi Channel.
There was at least one Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I don't know. I hope it's good. I mean, I'll watch it. I know I'm gonna go watch it.
Mm-hmm. It at least looks highly watchable.
Yes, at the very least.
But it definitely feels like more like it feels like it could be like the Transformers for board game movies, but I hope it's not.
Yeah.
I at least hope it's the Bumblebee of tabletop movies.
From the trailer, it looks like it's got more going on in its head than a Transformers movie.
Oh yeah,
does.
but also the fact that he jumps in a gelatinous cube and is going to survive.
You don't know that. They cut pretty quick.
That's true.
Speaking of Bumblebee, apparently they're doing a sequel to Bumblebee, and they are introducing the Beast machines from Beast Wars.
See, I thought...
Or as they are called in Canada, the Beasties.
See, I knew they were going to make the Beast Wars because, what is it? Ron Perlman is playing Optimus Primal. Mm-hmm. See, I was on... Because I was under the impression that it was a continuation of the old Transformers franchise, and not the Bumblebee.
They're done with that. The Bumblebee made more money.
Oh yeah,
and was a better film overall.
Oh yeah,
so they're continuing it from the.
I mean,
Bumblebee
John Cena
line.
alone made that movie better.
Sure. I mean, could you see him though?
Yeah, he was there.
Well, you're a better man than I couldn't see him. I looked all over that movie. I couldn't see John Cena at all.
Are you guys serious? They're called Decepticons. I love John Cena though. He's a treat.
He has won me over.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Peacemaker, man.
Oh, that was great.
Oh god, that was fantastic.
No. His name's just Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, man.
All right, we got to fly through a couple of these real quick. So they Marvel Studios announced. Now they haven't done their movies panel. This is actually we're recording this on Friday.
Yeah.
When you're listening to this, their Hall H movies panel is going on right now.
So if you want to hear our opinions on that, that's next week.
That's next week. But they did a lot of their animation for Disney Plus. They did a panel on that, and they showed off shots of X-Men 97.
Super excited.
Which is a continuation of the old X-Men animated series from Fox Kids.
Yep.
It looks like it's supposed to.
It looks exactly like it's supposed to, but a little bit cleaner. A little more shading.
Looks like it could have came on right after Mad Jack the Pirate by Bill Kopp.
Or The Tick. Yeah.
Or Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man the Animated Series.
Which they did announce another Spider-Man freshman year.
Yep, that one looks pretty good, too. Apparently, some of the characters from The Runaways are going to be minor supporting cast.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are also getting What If Season 2?
Yep. We're getting more Captain Carter.
The black sheep of the Marvel Disney Plus shows.
Mm-hmm. But it's good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I think it deserves more respect than it gets.
I agree. They are doing a spinoff of that specifically for Marvel Zombies, and I hate that because Marvel Zombies is so played out.
I hate Marvel Zombies.
Give me Marvel Apes.
Yes!
The Marvel Zombies episode of What If was very good, though.
Sure.
Yeah, it's fine, but we don't need a whole series for it.
Yeah.
They had Scott Lang's head in a jar.
Well, I mean, that's what happened in the comics, but also what happened in the comics is they eventually ate Galactus and flew into space.
Well, they also invaded the Marvel Apes universe.
They did.
Because there's a weird crossover.
Yep, with Spider-Man-Drill.
No, Iron Man Drill.
Iron Man Drill, Spider Monkey.
Yep, the Amazing Spider Monkey. Captain America is still Captain America.
Yeah.
I mean, some characters have different names, some don't.
Right.
I feel like I'm the only person on the earth who has read Marvel Apes.
Marvel Apes is great.
It was very good.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever found all the comics.
They were
really hard to find.
Yeah. And there's a short trailer for the I Am Groot shorts animated shorts.
Yep, little shorts.
They look fun.
with
Yeah.
little baby Groot.
It was cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's fine.
Even though we have teenage Groot in the movies now.
He farted a leaf.
And he's like a weird god to a bunch of tiny aphid aliens.
You know what? I feel like that joke was done better in Galaxy Quest, where you have like cute little aliens and they turn out to be savages.
Oh yeah, I guess. But
It was also done very well on the original series of Star Trek. The episode was titled "Trouble with Trouble."
that's right.
Which
I don't know if you've heard of it before.
well, and
yes.
Deep Space Nine goes back in time to the Trouble with Tribbles episode.
They do. Yeah.
and
Did
like
not know that.
yeah, and like they're sitting in like a cafe or something, and they're like, those are Klingons, and like where? And they ask Worf like, what happened? It's like, we don't talk about it.
Because
They look
back
different.
then the Klingons didn't have the head ridges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they looked human.
Yeah.
Or yeah, they looked.
They had like goatees.
They had, like,
just
goatees.
about
They
it,
looked.
yeah.
They looked vaguely Mongolian.
They were kind of space pirates a little bit.
Space
That's all they
pirate,
were.
yeah, space pirate, Chinese warlord kind of things.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have?
They announced a Lego Bowser.
Oh, that thing looks
which
so good.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like $250.
Yes, it's very expensive, but it's also like the best Lego Mario set they have put out.
Yeah, without a doubt.
One of the coolest Lego sets I think they've done in a long time.
Uh-huh.
He's basically a puppet, like a Lego puppet. He moves a little bit. You push a button on the back of his head, he shoots a fireball.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
I feel like it's like the Marvel or the Mario answer to some of the more collector pieces, like the Nintendo or all the Star Wars helmets,
The question mark box.
the question mark block,
box. Yeah.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Which that question mark block is pretty cool.
It is
It
very
is
cool.
really cool looking. Yeah.
Where like open it up and you see like different scenes from Mario and
From
stuff.
Mario 64 specifically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Even though there are no question mark blocks in Mario 64.
Well, yeah.
You
But
can't-
it's a very cool set.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, the question mark block is so iconic. Like with Nintendo, it is. I mean, it could have been the logo, and it still wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
You know.
Something else from Comic-Con. Keanu Reeves' comic Berserker, and I say it that kind of weirdly
Berserker.
because
There's
it's
no
spelled
vowels.
BZRKR. Is getting both an anime and a live-action film produced through Netflix, starring Keanu Reeves, because he basically wrote himself as the main character of his comic, which is fine, whatever.
Being Netflix, it could really go either way. It could be either really
Yep.
great or
Yeah.
the biggest dumpster fire you've ever seen.
That's the way it
Yeah.
always goes with Netflix.
There's no in between.
Oh, there is not, because it's either going to be your Stranger Things or it's going to be your Winx Academy or
Netflix is the Sith. They only deal in absolutes.
Yeah, it could be great. It could be Cowboy Bebop live action.
Yeah.
or,
it could be Blight or Bright.
Oh, Bright. Oh.
Ooh, that
It could-
movie sucks.
It could be Is It Cake?
I watched an episode of Is It Cake, and
Was it cake?
Was it cake?
you know what? They were pretty convincing cakes. The contestants of the show were insufferable, and the host was terrible, and that's why I couldn't watch any more of it.
Wait, who's the host? Wasn't the Cake Boss guy? Was it?
No, it was Cake,
No,
Cake Boss.
They don't let him be on shows anymore. He burnt that bridge a long time
Oh, he
ago.
burnt that
know.
cake years ago.
I don't follow the career of the Cake Boss.
All I know is he got pulled over by the cops once and tried to get out of it by going, "Don't you know who I am? I'm the Cake Boss." Allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know he did.
Oh, yeah. So the DC Warner Brothers fighting game Multiverses is coming out soon. And
Like, I think in a couple days.
a couple days, very soon. And they've already announced some of their DLC, including Rick from Rick and Morty,
Also Morty from Rick and Morty.
and LeBron James.
From Space Jam 2.
Yeah, specifically his Space Jam persona.
LeBron James from Reality.
Yes.
He's not voicing himself.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, what a bummer.
That's dumb.
I think it's funny though. It's cool to pull like a real life person into your Smash Brothers.
Oh, sure.
Knockoff. I think that's inspired in a way.
I mean, the closest they had gotten
Shaq
was
Fu.
Arya Stark is in the game.
Yeah.
And they made an animated version of this live action character.
Yeah.
But
and they actually got her to voice.
she did. They
Yeah.
did, yeah. But I mean,
Hey, you know what? With the first trailer of this game, it already looked better than that weird Nickelodeon one.
oh yeah, Nickelodeon All Stars.
Yeah.
The Smash Killer. Everybody was wild about for 2 weeks.
the Multiverses is going to be the Smash
it-
Killer because it's free to play.
And it came with voice acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It does. I was like so down on this when they announced it. Like, Smash knockoff. It's probably going to be bad. I've watched somebody play it. I've
looks
watched it
really good.
streamed.
They've done it right.
It looks really solid and fun.
does.
I'll
Yep.
be excited to try it.
I just
Same here.
want to play the Iron Giant.
He's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I watched gameplay of his moveset, and I'm
And
like,
they had to balance, like, they've balanced him so many times because they've tried, like, they made him way overpowered and then rolled him back too far and made him way underpowered.
I mean, he is a giant alien war machine.
He's by far the tallest character in the game.
oh yeah, he almost reaches the second level.
Yeah, he doesn't need to jump to get onto, like, the platforms and stuff.
No, not really.
basically.
No.
I've heard that Velma is the lowest tier character, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
However, I think, doesn't she play kind of like Ace Attorney?
Yeah,
in,
you got to
Phoenix Wright?
find clues
You gotta
around
find clues
the
before you
stage.
do stuff. Yeah.
I mean, that works for the character.
The meta's really early though. They could find something that makes her work.
they
You
could
never
they
know.
could figure it out. It's so weird to me that Shaggy is the Ryu. Like, literally,
I guess yeah.
he is, because he has a Tatsu. He has a bunch of moves that are basically Ryu from Street Fighter because he's Ultra Instinct Shaggy. That meme.
I still hate that they did that.
I did too.
I hate that so much.
The meme was played out. The only time it made me laugh was in the intro to one of the animated
that was
Mortal
funny.
Kombat,
That was funny.
when the Warner Brothers shield pops up.
and Shaggy
Shaggy, yeah,
Shaggy
burns
beats
his
up
way through it.
Yeah, beats up Scorpion or something.
yeah.
It's-
That's the only time.
It's not worth burning an entire like legacy character like Shaggy for one joke that was played out like as soon as it was made.
It should have lasted as long as Big Chungus.
Yeah.
Big
Which
Chungus lasted as long as it needed to, and that's it.
They did reference Big Chungus in
Space Jam 2.
That's true. They did. Yeah.
that
Somehow,
story.
Big Chungus returned.
That story about that movie reviewer that said that when Big Chungus appeared on screen, a child started laughing so hard he had to be
He had to be executed?
He had to be escorted out of the theater.
Yeah.
I like my joke better.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm glad somebody enjoyed Space Jam 2.
Someone. Yeah. All right. Hey, with that, I think we've actually hit time. We're going to have plenty more
man.
San Diego ComicCon news to talk about next week, but we got to wrap things up. You've been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon at Nerd Overload Now.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
You can give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline. The number's 586-372-8020. Leave us a message on our voicemail, and we'll play it on the show. We've done it before.
And we'll do it again.
Tell us your favorite dead meme.
Oh, yeah, there we go. You can also find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
This one's for you, Morph.